What's up, everybody? It's Jason Cruz here once again with another episode of The Legal Submission. This time we're taking a look at a lawsuit that was filed in Los Angeles Superior Court a couple weeks ago by Bellator fighter Cat Zingaon, and she is suing Halle Berry and her production crew for allegedly breach of a promise that Zingano says Berry had made to her. Now let's give you some context for this. Halle Berry is shooting a movie in which she plays an MMA fighter that is seeking redemption in the cage and is also a single mother. Uh, Halle Berry, for research for the project, she met with Cat Zingano a couple years ago in the summer of, I believe, August of 2019. Now, in that particular meeting, or over the course of meetings, Berry became very interested in Zingano and her life story, which paralleled, not the same, but paralleled Halle Berry's movie, which is coming out actually this fall. So Berry indicated to Zingano that she wanted her to be in a part of the movie. Zingano at that particular time was contracted with the UFC, and she was coming off, unfortunately, a loss to Megan Anderson, in which she, if you recall, hurt her eye, and it was a doctor stoppage, or a stoppage in the first round. And so, she had not fought since that particular time, which I believe was in December 2018. Zingano was actually offered a fight to return to the octagon in October 2019. So a couple months down the road. Of course, and I said in August 2019, Zingano had gone ahead and met with Halle Berry and was very impressed with being a part of the movie that Berry was shooting. Problem was that Halle Berry could not have Zingano on the film at the same time she would be fighting. Some insurance issues or whatnot, but basically Zingano could not do both. She could not fight and be involved in the movie project for Halle Berry. So, very hard decision for Zingano at that particular time. She decided to go ahead and go with taking the role in Berry's movie, which is called Bruised, coming out on Netflix later this fall. Anyway, unfortunately for Zingano, she told the UFC that she couldn't take the fight in October, and summarily was cut by the company a week or so later after giving the UFC that news. And of course, the problem with that was Halle Berry then could not utilize Zingano after she was cut by the UFC. Why? Because it appears as though Berry Berry's production company had a deal with the UFC in which they could only utilize UFC fighters. So not only was Zingano out of a fight and her contract with the UFC cut, her movie opportunity was also gone because Halle Berry could not use her in the project anymore. So here we get the lawsuit filed in August of 2021. The sole cause of action filed by Zingano is legal theory in contracts called promissory estoppel or detrimental reliance. Essentially, in this particular type of promise or a contract, a party to the detriment of their own to the detriment of their own, they rely on a factor of the other party, and as a result receive damages. So applying that roadmap to Zingano's case, she is claiming that she relied on Halle Berry's promise that she would be in a movie, and in turn turned down the UFC offer to fight in October. Once the UFC cut her, Berry could not use her in the film project. Zingano is claiming that damages as a result of this particular issue. The good news for Zingano is she landed on her feet in Bellator and is actually on a two fight win streak. So why the lawsuit? Well, a couple things. From an outside the law perspective, the film is coming out in the fall of 2021. The lawsuit was filed just now, probably to coincide with the opening. Zingano obviously is claiming that she lost out on the UFC opportunity to fight, which she believed in according to the lawsuit, would have led her to a potential title fight. The issue here is that there is probably an extenuating circumstance for which Berry could not employ Zingano for the movie role. Her production company was probably aligned with Zuffa, already a pre-existing contractual duty, to have UFC fighters in the particular movie. Now, the question, of course, will be, well, what kind of claims does Zingano have here? There is probably nothing formally written down. Maybe you got some emails or text or something, but nothing formally written down. So how can Zingano claim a legal damages as a result of Halle Berry purportedly offering her a movie role? That's the issue here, because was there an actual movie role that she was going to be on? Was there an offer of some sort in which she was going to play a particular role? This we don't know yet from the lawsuit. Berry's representation and her production crew representation have not answered the complaint yet. One would expect that this would be something in which they would move to dismiss the lawsuit, simply because there's no issue of fact, nothing which would prevent the case from getting dismissed. What we have here is perhaps a promise, but nothing concrete for Zingano to stand on. Now, obviously, if there is prolonged discovery or anything, maybe you get some emails or text or something of that nature, which could lead to maybe a potential factual issue related to the promise made by Halle Berry. But from the outsider's perspective, and just looking at the legal lawsuit, it looks as though it's just a promise that could not be held up because of some other issue, an extenuating outside factor. So unfortunately for Zingano, her movie career might be pulled on hold until she can get perhaps another role, maybe with a Bellator movie. But as far as we know, we will continue to follow the lawsuit. It doesn't look like it's going to last too long, but again, it's an interesting issue as far as why she filed the lawsuit. It's clear that she felt compelled to do it, and perhaps we find something in discovery in which there is issues that had her rely on that particular promise more than just a meeting. This is Jason Cruz with the Legal Submission. Hope you have a great day.